Hello students, welcome back. We missed you while you were gone over break. While you're in the back on computers, you're going to be working on this worksheet. So we're going to do a few problems together during this video, and then you're going to continue working independently. So let's look at this first problem, 72 hundredths times 2 tenths. This one has already been set up for you on your paper, but remember, when we multiply decimals, we do not line up the decimal. We just line up the numbers all the way on the right. On the right, you'll see that I actually typed in the number of digits that each number has behind the decimal. So this one has 2 digits. I'm just going to write D. It has 2 digits, a 7 and a 2 behind the decimal. This one has 1 digit, the 2 behind the decimal, and then our answer, we're going to add the total number of digits. So we have 2 digits, 1 digit. So we'll have 3 digits behind the decimal in your answer. Remember, that is already written in for you. So 2 digits, 1 digit, 3 digits, because 3 is 2 plus 1. Now we're just going to multiply normally. So I'll do 2 times 2, which is 4. 2 times 7, which is 14. And then 2 times 0, I'm sorry, I should have carried the 1. 2 times 0 is 0 plus 1, bring down the 1. Now that I've multiplied with this digit, I would multiply with this digit, but first put a 0 right here. Then if I multiply 0 times 2, it'll be 0. I know I'm going to get zeros all the way across because 0 times anything is 0. So I can just fill in zeros here, and then add. And it would be 144. But remember, I still have to fill in, or I still have to put my decimal point in place. So I said there should be 3 digits behind the decimal. So I know there has to be 1, 2, 3 digits behind the decimal. So my decimal will go right here. And the answer will be 144 thousandths. I want you guys to continue working on the next problem independently. Pause this video, and then when you come back, we'll do the next problem together. So pause the video, work on number 2 independently. Again, the digits are written out for you, and then we'll do it together. Okay, I hope you guys were honest and actually paused this video, and by now you should have actually solved the problem by yourself, and we'll go over it together. So it's 2 and 1 tenth times 1 and 2 tenths. So when we do this problem, just by chance, our decimals are lined up because we have 1 digit behind the decimal in each of these problems. 1 digit behind the decimal here and 1 digit behind the decimal here. That means that our answer is going to have 2 digits behind the decimal. Again, this was already written out for you, but that's because 1 plus 1 is 2. And then you're just going to multiply normally again. So you should have done 2 times 1, which is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times 1, oops, I forgot my 0. So put in the 0, then 1 times 1, which is 1, and 1 times 2, which is 2. Then I'm going to put my 0. First I'll add, so 2, 5, 2. And then I'll put my 0, or my decimal, so that there are 2 digits behind the decimal. So it'll go right there. So your answer should have been, I'll write it up here, 2 and 52 hundredths. Okay, we are going to walk through one more problem together, and then you're going to solve the rest on your own. So this next problem isn't set up for you. So our job is not only to solve it, but to set it up for ourselves. So I see it's 1 and 23 hundredths times 2 tenths. So I remember, I don't line up the decimal, I just line up all the numbers on the right. So 1 and 23 hundredths times 2 tenths. Now, I have to fill in how many digits there are in each number. And then even before I solve, I'm going to say how many digits there will be behind the decimal in my answer. So this one, there are 2 digits behind the decimal. I see 1, 2, so 2 digits. And in 2/10, I just see one number behind the decimal, so that means there's one digit behind the decimal. Now, before I even solve this problem, I can figure out how many digits will be behind the decimal in my answer by adding them. So if there's 2 digits in this one and 1 digit in this one, there should be 3 digits behind the decimal in my answer. So I know that after I solve this, I'm going to have 3 numbers behind that decimal point. All right, now let's multiply. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 1 is 2. And again, I know I would next move on to my next number and multiply by 0, but everything by 0 is 0, so I know I don't have to do that. So my answer is 246, but I still need to put my decimal point in. So I know there need to be 3 digits behind the decimal, so I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, and then place my decimal point in front of that number. So our final answer should be 246 thousandths. Okay, I want you to keep working on the rest of these problems. Remember, I will be checking them. It will be a +5 on your paycheck if you finish all of them, and a deduction if you haven't. So make sure you've done all of them and shown all of your work. On the back, you're going to have problems where you're doing substitution and multiplying decimals, so make sure you're careful to substitute first before you start multiplying. And make sure you do not line up your decimal when you're multiplying decimals. Finally, once you are done, there is a link below the link to this video where you can check your answers. On that page is just the answer. I haven't shown the work. So I'll know if you're just checking the answers and writing those down if you don't show your work for these problems. And I am looking for work. It's going to be incomplete without work. Once you're done, you can go on ST Math. Okay, enjoy doing the rest of these problems.